Hey guys, and welcome back to the WRESTLEDUDE YouTube channel as we are on the road to WWE 2K20. Yes, after WrestleMania, this is when all the news about 2K20 leaks and rumors, which we'll talk about here in a second, all the news starts to come out about 2K20 as we're on the road to it, leaks about who's going to be in the game and who's on the main card, or main cover I should say. All that and more gets revealed, so I have a lot of news to talk about today. We have 6 pieces of news to get through, and some of them are more important than others. Some of them I'm going to talk about more in depth because they're very, very important, but obviously this news has kind of stacked up in recent days and recent weeks just because I haven't really been focusing on 2K20 news right now. But this is a lot of big news here, so we're going to get right into it with our first piece of news. A rapper may be working on the new soundtrack for WWE 2K20. Now, a while back, people were speculating that rapper Eminem would be helping WWE with a project, and some people thought maybe he was going to be doing a singing performance at WrestleMania, but now WrestleMania has passed, and there was no sign of Slim Shady anywhere. So, me and a lot of other people are speculating that Eminem may be helping work on the soundtrack for WWE 2K20. Now, there's been people like The Rock and I think DJ Khaled helped out with the soundtrack in the past, but this will be interesting to see how Eminem brings his take to the soundtrack. I don't know if he's ever really been a wrestling fan. I may be wrong about that. I only listened to a couple of his songs, but it's going to be very interesting to see if Eminem makes an appearance with WWE 2K20, or who knows, maybe he's working on a different project with WWE. Maybe he's helping them work on a diss track against AEW. Who knows? That'll be very interesting if that was to ever happen. But speaking of Eminem, I'd like to take a few words from one of his more famous songs, and those words are, guess who's back? Back again. Ronda's back. Tell your friends. Not exactly the words that he uses, but Ronda Rousey will definitely be in 2K20 this year. She released some video or some photos on her Instagram showing her doing some mocap, which means that we will get an updated Ronda Rousey model. Now, even though Ronda Rousey lost her Raw Women's Championship at WrestleMania, and now she's going on her, and I quote, impregnation vacation, it still means that we'll be able to play as the baddest woman on the planet in WWE 2K20. So it's great to have some confirmation on who's going to be in the game. I also expect everyone who's a current champion to be in the game, so Seth Rollins or Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles, Kofi Kingston, you know, people like that. They're obviously going to be in the game. Some of the NXT UK guys I still have some doubts about, considering their contract issues and stuff like that. Although I did do a video about like 10 predicted NXT roster members for WWE 2K20, so if you want to check that out, I'll link it at the end of the video in the end card. But yeah, Ronda Rousey is a big name to be confirmed for 2K20, and I'm excited to see if maybe she plays a role as some other WWE superstars are that we're going to talk about here in a little bit. Now, speaking of Ronda Rousey, she lost her Raw Women's Championship at WrestleMania to the man, Becky Lynch, which leads us into our next story, a very interesting one that I'm going to go more in depth with. And that is that people are saying Becky Lynch will be the cover star of 2K20. Now, I have no doubt about that. She could definitely be this cover star. But people are saying it because of a leaked article, which I'm going to pop up right here, but I also have it right here on my hand. And this comes from WWE 2K20 Yuke's Visual Concepts, Deluxe Edition, Collector's Edition, and people are saying that this is leaked stuff for 2K20. Obviously, there are some very weird things about this, considering the dates that it gives for the Deluxe Edition and the Collector's Edition is October 2018 and then October 5th, 2018, so that's definitely a big blunder. Either somebody from 2K fudged that up and this is real, or somebody fudged this up who was trying to make this look real and they failed miserably. But it says the tagline for the year will be "Freedom is yours," and then it says the man, Becky Lynch, will be the cover star, and that will be unveiled on June 24th. So hey, who knows? We could be wrong. When June rolls around on June 24th, if Becky Lynch gets revealed as the cover star, then I guess a lot of us will be eating crow for dinner. But as of right now, this all just looks a little bit tacky. I mean, even that tagline, "Freedom is yours," if they give us freedom is yours, then it better mean freedom is ours. I'm talking custom finishers, I'm talking create a storyline, I'm talking all that. So if freedom is ours, then it better be freedom is ours. Also, it talks about potential showcase mode, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. The Women's Revolution will take over as part of the showcase mode. Pre-order bonus will be the legendary Chyna. Now that's going to be an interesting one. She did just go into the Hall of Fame, although WWE has still had a bit of a sour note when it comes to Chyna and her past. But, I mean, I'd love to see Chyna back in a WWE game. That'd be very cool to play as Chyna versus Nia Jax, or Chyna versus Charlotte Flair, you know, stuff like that. That'd be very cool to see. And then, yeah, it goes on to talk about, now this is the most interesting part. It talks about something called My GM it says that it's returning in 2K20. Now, we've been wanting GM mode back for a long, long time. And I went back and I played a game where it had GM mode. I wasn't really that much of a fan of it. I don't know, maybe you guys had more fun with it than I did. But, I mean, it'll be interesting to see if it actually does return, but I still don't think this article is anything special. I do think this was just something made up by a fan. But then it gives us, at the end of the article, it gives article or leaked document, it gives us some roster reveal dates, so August 13th, August 20th, August 27th, and September 3rd as the roster reveals. So those are cutting it pretty close to the release of 2K20. Although, I really hope that this year 2K20 has a better, like, release thing for, like, news, better than 2K19 did. I've loved 2K19. It's been awesome. The only gripe that I've had with it, and you'll know this if you guys watched my news videos from when I was talking about 2K19, is that it had such a weird release thing for all of its news. It was like Undertaker versus John Cena at WrestleMania in New Orleans a year or two ago, when John Cena was just yelling at Undertaker to do something, and then Undertaker didn't show up until WrestleMania. They basically did it like that, where all 2K fans ready for stuff to be released for the game were like, show us something, show us something, show us something, and then 2K was like, nah. And then it was like the last 2 weeks, they like crammed all this stuff in, like, here's the first screenshot, here's the first trailer, here's the roster reveals, no Tommaso Ciampa, bye! Yeah, people were really mad about Tommaso Ciampa and Nikki Cross being in. I do predict that they will be in this year's game too, by the way, considering Tommaso Ciampa obviously has to get that video game spot. He's the he was the NXT champion, but he's a much higher leveled star at NXT now. And Nikki Cross is on the main roster, which means that she'd get a bigger pay raise for being in the game. So there's no doubt that those two will be in this year's game. But yeah, speaking about that showcase mode, featuring the Women's Evolution, this comes from a screenshot from Renee Young's Instagram story. Apparently she was doing some audio work, some commentary, which means that in some capacity we may be getting a new commentary member in the form of Renee Young. Now, this may not be what I'm thinking it is, because what I'm thinking it is that we may have the chance to interchange commentators, so you could have like Renee Young, JR, and Michael Cole, or actually probably Renee Young, JR, and Jerry Lawler, all at the announce tables booth, and then you can switch them around with Corey Graves and Michael Cole, Byron Saxton, you know, Percy Watson, maybe Mauro Ronaldo. That'd be a cool one to be in the game. But it showed that she was doing commentary for Charlotte versus Natalya for the NXT Women's Championship back in old NXT. Which means that it may be part of this Women's Evolution showcase mode, which I have no problem with. That would be an awesome showcase mode. It'd be interesting to see how far back they go with it, because obviously there are some people like AJ Lee and Chyna that were very heavily involved with the evolution of the women's division, but it'll be interesting to see how far back they can go with that. If this is the first match of that showcase mode, yeah, I could kind of see it, although I would also like to see Paige versus Emma for the NXT Women's Championship in this showcase mode. Also the triple threat match from WrestleMania 35, Charlotte, Becky Lynch, and Sasha Banks. And then obviously the main event of WrestleMania from this past year, Ronda Rousey, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch. But yeah, a Women's Evolution showcase mode would be awesome. Renee Young can confirmed as a commentator for at least the showcase mode. That's awesome. I can't wait to see if this is official in a sense, but yeah, I'm excited for it. Are you? But moving on from the showcase mode, we're going to talk about the collector's edition, and it may have been leaked by none other than Kurt Angle himself. He posted on his Instagram a little while back. He was posting about having to sign a whole bunch of like autographed pictures of Kurt Angle, and in the corner of the photos that he was signing, you could see a logo for WWE and 2K Games. Now, this could just mean that 2K Games were the ones that offered the photos for Kurt Angle to sign, and it was from when he was the pre-order bonus back on 2K18, I want to say it was. But yeah, it'll be awesome to see if Kurt Angle is part of this collector's edition. Also on that same post, Edge commented that he was also signing a whole bunch of photos, so we could have like a Kurt Angle like career edition, sort of like what we saw with John Cena, where we got RVD and the retro John Cena, and I think we got the One Night Stand arena as well. Also some other collectible stuff like a action figure of John Cena or something like that. But we could be seeing a very similar thing with Kurt Angle here with Edge, or we could just be getting some kind of like Hall of Famers edition, and Kurt Angle and Edge and maybe a couple other Hall of Famers will be included in it. But Kurt Angle as a collector's edition will be very, very cool. I don't really do the collector's editions, really. I just don't really need to. I just buy the base game. I don't even pre-order, really. I wait for the pre-orders to just come out after the game has been released. But yeah, Kurt Angle as a pre-order, or not as a pre-order, as a collector's edition will definitely be very, very cool. And, you know, maybe if Edge is involved, maybe this means we finally get an updated Edge, one that doesn't look like a hideous monster. But yeah, are you guys excited about a Kurt Angle collector's edition, or is there some kind of other collector's edition you'd be interested in? Comment below and let me know your thoughts. What would you guys think of this Kurt Angle collector's edition? Now, this last bit of news that I'm going to talk about today is a very, very interesting one, and it concerns My Career Mode. Now, 2K19's My Career Mode, I would say, by far, is the best My Career Mode in any of the 2K games. Why? Because it had this feeling of, to me, it had this feeling of Road to WrestleMania to it. It had these like weird storylines and twists and turns. It had voice acting, which was very, very cool. It had a very engaging story. I've played through that friggin' My Career Mode like 3 times, and yeah, it is sort of like the same outcome every single time, but you still have fun playing it, especially me. I love the whole storyline with Bray Wyatt, which I sort of predicted. I don't know, I did a video about that, like a theory before the game came out, what the Bray Wyatt storyline would be like. I kind of got some things wrong, but you know, what can you do? But this career mode for this year, there was a video going around of Adam Cole and Tyler Breeze talking about 2K20 and saying that they were brought in to do voiceover work, which means that Adam Cole and potentially the rest of Undisputed Era, plus Tyler Breeze, will be involved in this year's My Career Mode, which means that in this My Career Mode for this year, we may be starting again at NXT. Now, the guy that did last year's voice work for Buzz, he did not say that he was doing voiceover work for this year, so we may be looking at a new superstar that we're controlling. Maybe the return of Jacob Cass, who knows? I don't think Austin Aries would do voiceover work for that anyways. But we could be seeing the return of an old superstar from one of the Road to WrestleMania modes, or we could just be having another nameless superstar named Buzz or something, and maybe they'll bring in somebody else to do voiceover work. But good God, if you guys want John Cena to do voiceover work, somehow, someway, either get John Cena to do it or leave John Cena out of it. Because playing the My Career Mode from this year, that was the one thing that bugged me, was John Cena's non-John Cena voice. It sounded like somebody was trying to do a John Cena voice, but they had mucus in their nose, so it just kind of sounded like muffled or something. That was just my only gripe with My Career Mode from this past year. But Undisputed Era and Tyler Breeze going to be in this year's My Career Mode, potentially. It's going to be awesome. I really hope they keep the feel of like Road to WrestleMania with the My Career Mode. That's what made it fun for me, were these outlandish storylines of like zombies and Bray Wyatt and the friggin' Astral Realm and Finn Balor, like double demons, and Cole Quinn becoming a Wyatt family member. All that stuff was freaking awesome. And I can't wait to see what they do with this year's My Career mode. But let me know, would you guys be excited to see Undisputed Era and Tyler Breeze in this year's My Career mode? And what do you guys hope to see in this year's My Career mode that maybe potentially wasn't in this past year's? But let me know in the comment section down below. And that's going to do it for all the news. This was a lot of stuff. Eminem's going to be working on the soundtrack potentially. Ronda Rousey confirmed for the game. Becky Lynch potentially being the cover star. A Women's Evolution showcase mode. China as a pre-order bonus. Kurt Angle as a collector's edition. Undisputed Era and Tyler Breeze in the My Career mode. I'm excited for 2K20. We're on the road to 2K20, which means any more news that comes out, I'm going to be trying to cover it for you guys. So click subscribe and with the notification bell turned on, so that way you guys can hear about all the 2K20 news as it comes out, and I get to talk about it with you. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.